Hi, everybody. So this is kind of what we've been waiting for. This is going to be the installation of the quarter panel skin on the 73 Mustang Convertible. This is part 3, so stick around and we'll get started, okay? Thanks very much. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. In this portion, we're going to, this is part 3. This will be installing the quarter panel skin. You'll notice over here, let me flip everything around. So I've already, on the recorder here, I removed the spot welds and cleaned things up. I'm going to probably have to go a little higher up to here, remove this a little bit, but for now I'll leave that alone. For my last video, I clamped in the outer wheel housing. It's not welded. I need to finesse that, I would imagine, when I put on the skin. And last but not least, I still have to remove this portion of the quarter here, right? And there's spot welds, a little harder. Well, it's kind of hard for me to get in here with this camera, but come on. There we go. It's a little harder to see where the spot welds are on this, to be honest with you, which, oh, looks like there's one there, and I grinded it down. It looks like there's one here as well, but it's a little harder. A lot of times what I'll do is cut little slits so then I could take them out as pieces instead of trying to take out this whole thing as one. Let me back up. Instead of, I'll cut little slits here, try not to go all the way through. This way I could take out little pieces as opposed to me peeling the whole thing off, which is a lot harder, right? Also, I need to determine how far up the skin goes. Another thing too, which I'll bring to your attention, I've got some cleaning up and some repairs to do in here as well. I also have some modifications I need to do on the quarter, which I will show you. Now, the quarter I'm installing, let's go over here. I had bought this many moons ago. If folks have been watching the channel, you'll notice I got a lot of parts I bought many moons ago. Here is, let's zoom in on that. Come on, cooperate with me. Here we go. So there's the panel I bought. Now, back in the day when I got this, it was quite some time back, there was no full quarter panels. So this is really a skin that's good for, pretty much any 71 2 or 3 Mustang, convertible, fastback, grande, whatever. Today, if you got a fastback, they actually have full quarters. And if you got a convertible, they actually have full quarters, which I was just recently brought to my attention, to be honest with you. I've already paid for this. I don't need to take off the full quarter, but I figure, you know what, if I butcher this badly, then there's an option for a full quarter. I can't remember what the price of this is going for today. It's not too expensive, but the full quarter for the convertible, 71 2s and 3 Mustangs, the full quarters in Canada is about $770. Some people want $1,100 for them. It's like, whoa. And they're Dynacorn. So if you're interested in that, look at the Dynacorn site. And take from there. I'm not sponsored by them, but anyways, they seem to have that. I don't think the full quarter comes with this portion over here, which this skin has. Okay, now I'm gonna flip this back over. Bear with me a second. One of the things I did notice is I gotta make some modifications to this line here. If you notice, it flares up. It flares up, and that would be like for a hard top or a fastback, it would flare up. The convertible, it doesn't. If we look over here, it doesn't flare up. Now you can be, oh, just smash it down, Steve. No, it's not that easy. I also don't think, again, please correct me in the comments, this body line here matches here, but I think once we get to around here, the body line is totally different on a convertible as compared to a hardtop or a fastback, right? So I need to basically trim this quarter panel back. I'm going to trim it. Here's that. Oh, where's the line here? It's kind of hard to pick it up. Here's the line here. I'm going to trim it just under that line. Maybe, you know, 1/4 inch just under that line all the way across. I'll do a nice straight cut, and then I got to put it on, and we'll see how that goes. That's what I'm going to try. Worst comes to worst, I butcher it. Well, then I'll know better for the passenger side. Okay, so stick around. I also got some modifications to do down here in the front, which I'll show you that when I get to that part. It shouldn't be too long. So stick around. Thanks again, folks. We'll talk to you soon. Well, I thought I'd just share this with you. So we're at the front of the quarter, and one of the things I kind of mentioned is I kind of like to, again, there's spot welds alongside here, but I'm having a hell of a time finding them, to be honest with you. So you notice I cut a lot of slits. I'm trying not to cut into the brackets back here, right, and do my best to not do that. And the reason why I cut the slits, and again, I did these on an angle because I didn't want to cut into this, is because you can see that piece is ready to fall off. That one's not. This one here, a little bit more work. Oh, that one there, again, ready to fall off. So I just find it a little bit easier for me to isolate the pieces instead of butchering this whole panel here. Anyway, it's just a little thought. If I look in here, you can see some rot. Somebody's put in a panel or a patch here. So, and they didn't look like they did a bad job, to be honest with you. And so it's over here, it's welded to the fender. So I need to cut this patch out. It goes around here. I'm not sure how far up. I'm gonna have to investigate that, but it doesn't look too bad. But I also need to cut into here because the skin needs to get into this section here, which I'll talk about shortly. Okay, but obviously a lot of cleanup in here and whatnot has to go on. So we'll see us back in a bit once I get all this cleaned up, and then I'll talk about what I have to do to modify down here. Hi everybody. So you can see I kind of cleaned up a lot of the stuff. I got a patch to put in over here. Figure while I'm waiting, this is the original piece that came out of here. So it goes in like this. Okay. The reason why I'm pointing this out, it's the top of the running board, and you can still see, it's hard to do this with one hand. You can still see some of the metal that's left over. So why am I pointing this out? I'll go over to the replacement panel. If we look at this angle, it's roughly about a 90-degree angle. Right here. It's roughly 90 degrees, right? So that would be like the thing that goes right here. This angle obviously is not 90 right there. So what I'm figuring I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this roughly at about a 90. Right? I'll cut that slit there. I'm going to cut this off roughly. Then I got to come over to this side and roughly do the same thing. Cut off something like that. Then this lip has to be bent to roughly about a 90 degree, right? And then it slides in. So that's what I'm about to do and see what happens from there. Okay? So see you in a bit. And again, just to give you a perspective on where in the panel it is. Hi everybody. So I've got the quarter held on with some various clamps and some calicos you can kind of see. This was a lot of fun, and I meant a lot of sarcasm there. That outer wheel housing was a real bugger to locate, and it kept on preventing me from getting this portion all the way in. If you notice, if I open this up, here we go. You'll see that that's not all the way down, right? I had to do a relief cut right here, right by that point. So I got to kind of push this up and then bring it over and then down, right? But I'm pretty much there. So what I have to do now, I learned a lot of this, I'll be honest with you. What I'll do now is I got to take the quarter off, right? But I got the locations marked with calicos. I got to do that. The outer wheel housing is just held in brute force and ignorance. You can probably just make it out. There's a few clamps you can't make out. There's one way up there. Anyways, you can't really make it. I got a couple of clamps holding it in place. So what I'm going to do is while it's held in place, I'm going to put some calicos in, so I know exactly its placement. Once I got clecos in, I know it's good to go. I got to take off the outer wheel housing, get it prepped with uh, um, well through primer and all that, and then put it back in with the clecos, and then tack it in place. I'll probably show you that folks, just as I'm putting it back in, and when I tack, and then I can put the quarter back on and start tacking. I'll probably do as many tacks as I can on that outer wheel housing that requires the quarter to be removed. And any other ones that I could do after the quarter's on, I'll do after, just in case something gets misaligned and now I got to cut through a whole bunch of plug welds, right? So, anyways, that's my thoughts. I spent a couple of days alone just messing with this, to be honest with you. It was pretty frustrating. I learned a lot. I'll talk about some of that. That might be in a part 4 when I do the right side. But anyways, we'll leave it alone for now. But I'm making progress. Today is just Thursday. Don't ask me what date. August, I don't know, 2nd or 3rd or whatever. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm hoping to have it all tacked in at least on Friday, and it's a long weekend for us up here in Canada. So I got the family coming up. So we'll see you soon. Take it easy, and we'll be right back. Bye now. Hello, everybody. The quarter panel is on, or the quarter panel skin is on. It didn't come out too bad. Let me just zoom in a bit over here. Again, down in there, I made that piece. That's supposed to be a bump there. That's supposed to be there, apparently. That's on the replacement, but there's that new piece I put in down at the bottom there. Came out pretty good. All right. When I look at the gap on the door, it's kind of hard to see, but it's not too bad. If you look down this, come on, try to get this thing to cooperate with me. If you look down the side, it's not bad at all. I got some adjustments still to do, and the Flow 360 is messing with me right now. The gap is not bad from top to bottom. A little wide up here between there, but I figure when I get into doing some of this, I'm putting on a new door here or whatever. Anyways, when I get to that, I'll deal with that a little bit, but that's not bad, to be honest with you. And I know this door has to go in a bit more as well. You can barely see it, but I did a cut and butt along here, right? There's primer on it. You can't feel it. There is some waves here. Over here, I found the skin went on a bit. It had tension at the top here. And I think that's where I got a little bit of bucklage here. Nothing too bad, but I can fix it with one of those little PDR paintless dent removers. So I'll play with that a bit, but again, down the road, right? I used the quarter panel extension over here to help me find position of the skin and to position this part, right? So the extension stops right. Come on, cooperate with me. The extension stops right there, okay? All in all, not bad. I got a couple little touch-ups to do on it on the inside, but when you look over here, it's actually pretty darn good in there. I think, let me just flip this around. I think that's about it for this video. This was a lot of fun installing the quarter panel. That's sarcasm, by the way. I learned a lot. I still have the passenger side to do. Let's flip back over to the passenger side. I got the passenger side to do as well. And that will be a part 4 of this series. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole process again because it's the same thing as the left side. But what I'll do in my part 4 is basically do what did I learn, possibly some tips and tricks and stuff like that as we're going along. So let me flip back to here. So so that's kind of my thoughts. I'll do a part 4 and just give you tips and tricks, what I learned, mistakes I've made. You've come along, if you've watched the videos, you've seen some of the mistakes I've made. There's a few other ones that I didn't tell you about. But anyway, you know, live and learn, right, folks? So this is the middle of August right now. It's actually August 10th or 11th, doesn't matter. I'm hoping to have this whole passenger side done by the end of August. So probably a couple of weeks, you'll see a part 4. But that's it. Thanks very much for sticking around. Come on. There we go. Just getting this there. Thanks very much for sticking around and watching this. Have a great evening. Hit that subscribe button if this is something you like. I would really appreciate it. Also, hit that like button if you found this entertaining. Thanks, and see you again soon. And by the way, there are car show stuff coming up. So this weekend, there's another car show. There's another one. So a lot of car shows coming up. So I do that also on my channel. So see you soon. Bye now.